Samsung generates $220 billion in revenue each year and sells almost 1 million phones per day. Samsung is a South Korean company that is one of the largest producers of electronic devices in the world. They specialize in a wide variety of industrial and consumer electronics, including appliances, digital media devices, semiconductors, memory chips, and integrated systems. Samsung has become one of the most recognized names in technology and produces around 1/5 of South Korea's total exports. Samsung was founded as a grocery store on March 1, 1938 by Lee Byung-chul. He started his business in Korea, trading noodles and other products produced in the city and its surroundings and exporting them to China and its provinces. After the Korean War, Lee expanded his business to textiles and opened Korea's largest wool factory. He focused heavily on industrialization with the goal of helping his country develop after the war. During that period, his business benefited from the new protectionist policies adopted by the Korean government, which aimed to help national conglomerates by protecting them from competition and facilitating their financing. In the late 1950s, the company acquired 3 of Korea's largest commercial banks, as well as an insurance company and companies that manufactured cement and fertilizers. Samsung in the 1960s acquired more insurance companies, as well as an oil refinery, a nylon company, and a department store. During the 1970s, the company expanded its textile manufacturing processes to cover the entire production line, from raw materials to the final product, to compete better in the textile industry. In addition, during the same period, the company began investing in heavy, chemical, and petrochemical industries, which provided the company with a promising path for growth. Samsung first entered the electronics industry in 1969 with several divisions focused on electronics. Its first products were black and white televisions. During the 1970s, the company began exporting home electronics products abroad. The late 1970s and early 1980s witnessed the rapid expansion of Samsung's technology businesses. Separate semiconductor and electronics branches were established, and an aerospace division was created in 1978. Samsung Data Systems, now Samsung SDS, was established in 1985 to serve the growing need for enterprise systems development. That helped Samsung quickly become a leader in information technology services. Samsung also created 2 research and development institutes that expanded the company's technology line into electronics, semiconductors, high-polymer chemical products, genetic engineering tools, telecommunications, aerospace industry, and nanotechnology. Lee Byung-chul died in 1987 and was succeeded by his son Lee Koon-hee. Samsung was split into 5 companies. Electronics remained under the leadership of Lee Koon-hee, and the other 4 companies were led by other sons and daughters of Lee Byung-chul. Lee Koon-hee felt that Samsung had become complacent due to its dominant position in the South Korean economy and was unprepared for global competition. Under what Lee called a new management concept, Samsung insisted that subordinates point out errors to their bosses. He also emphasized product quality over quantity, promoted women to high executive ranks, and discouraged bureaucratic practices. Driven by the Lee Koon-hee's reorganization of Samsung's culture, in the 1990s, the company continued its expansion into global electronics markets. Despite its success, those years also brought corporate scandals that affected the company, including multiple patent infringement lawsuits and bribery cases. In one such case, Lee Koon-hee was found guilty in 1996 of bribing former President Roh Tae-woo. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison, a sentence that the judge commuted, and was pardoned in 1997. Despite these setbacks, Samsung continued to grow and innovate. In 1993, the company released its first smartphone, the SH700, and in 1998, it became the world's largest producer of memory chips. The 2000s witnessed the birth of Samsung's Galaxy series of smartphones, which quickly became not only the most acclaimed products of the company, but also among the best-selling smartphones in the world. Samsung also supplied the microprocessors for Apple's first iPhone models and was one of the world's largest microprocessor manufacturers in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Since 2006, the company has been the world's best-selling TV manufacturer. Starting in 2010, the Galaxy series expanded to tablets with the introduction of the Galaxy Tab, and in 2013 to smartwatches with the introduction of the Galaxy Gear. Samsung introduced a foldable smartphone, the Galaxy Fold, in 2019. In April 2008, Lee was accused of breach of trust and tax evasion as part of a scheme, and shortly resigned as Samsung's chairman. In July, he was found guilty of tax evasion and subsequently fined approximately $80 million and sentenced to 3 years of suspended imprisonment. Lee was pardoned by the South Korean government in December 2009 so that he could remain on the International Olympic Committee and lead South Korea's successful bid for the 2018 Winter Olympics. Now let's analyze the keys to success that have made Samsung one of the most well-known companies in the world. The first key is branding. The company has worked hard to build a brand that is synonymous with quality, reliability, and innovation. Samsung's brand image has helped it to establish a strong presence in many markets around the world, and has helped the company to build a loyal customer base. The second key is diversification. The company operates in a wide range of industries, which helps to mitigate risk and ensures that the company has multiple sources of revenue. This has allowed Samsung to weather economic downturns and other challenges more effectively than some of its competitors, and has helped the company to continue growing over time. The third key is product positioning, as Samsung is putting its products in the hands of famous actors, athletes, and political figures.